Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video, we're going to take a look at what Cardano is doing, also what Bitcoin is doing, and I want to have a look here at ADA BTC as well, and also ADA ETH for the first time on this channel. And yeah, it's weekend and it's getting interesting because we are very, very close to the all-time high for Bitcoin. We are now approaching the very last resistance level before we can get to an all-time high, and this is better than watching any movie. In my view, so we're getting right into it. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. BTC UTC managed to get to 63k yesterday, just touched that level and retraced from there. In my view, the last key level to deal with before we get to the all-time high is 63.5k. I think that is the last key level. That is the closing candle when we made the all-time high. Now we came all the way from down here from 40k, around 40k, then consolidated bullish, and now we've broken these two channels here to the upside. I did say here I expect further moves to the upside short term, and then the closer we get to the all-time high, the more difficult it will be for Bitcoin. I expected more resistance at 61k, between 61 and 61.8k, but we just marched through, so it's looking interesting. And yeah, hopefully we'll finally get there. There is still there is still a risk that we drop if we can't get through the 63.5k, that we get a correction. But if we just march through, I think that bearish corrective scenario, or that short-term bearish scenario, is definitely over because it's been invalidated by the charts. The Elliott Wave rules will then have been invalidated, and that's fine, because then, then we will march, hopefully, to the all-time high. I did tell you in a previous video that Plan B, who developed the stock-to-flow model, talked about a 63k Bitcoin in October, and that's amazing. He was already very close in September, I think, when he talked about 43k for September. I believe that's what it was, end of September, and yeah, we were pretty much there end of September, weren't we? So now he talked about 63k end of December, now end of October, sorry. Now that could be that we go through the all-time high straight away. There is still a risk that we can't get through the to the all-time high, drop once more in an ABC correction. That's still valid according to the Elliott Wave method. I'm not saying it will happen, but it is still a valid scenario. That's why I mention it. And it will get invalidated if we hit the all-time high. But until we hit the all-time high, that is still a valid scenario. So we could come down once more and then shoot up. But I think, the further we march on in October here, that is getting more and more unlikely. But it is still a valid scenario. Anyway, we're there now. Exciting weekend. And let's take a look at ADA USD. ADA still in this triangle. And to be honest, in my view, again, as I said yesterday, it is not a big problem. It is not a big problem because we are actually not far behind Ethereum. I showed you the chart yesterday. I overlaid the Ethereum chart onto the ADA chart, and we saw that overall ADA has always been behind. ADA has always been behind ETH. Normally a 2-week lag in a major move to the upside. That was the case down here. Ethereum started to go through 2 weeks earlier than Cardano, and it might be the case again. I showed you a few more examples yesterday as well. And it might just happen again. And to be honest, I think from February or so to now, in terms of what both cryptos have lost in value in percent, I think Cardano is pretty much where Ethereum is as well. So it's not too different anyway. People just have the impression that Cardano isn't moving, but actually Cardano, again, is just doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's just waiting until it can catch up. And that's just where we are waiting for at the moment. We are beautifully moving within this triangle here. Price moves are getting smaller and smaller as we are getting more and more closer pushed into the apex. Now this here, what we are doing at the moment, could be a bit of a bullish consolidation, to be honest. And let me just go on to the daily chart. We can see that yesterday that push to the upside, that pushed us above the 20-day moving average. Now that is definitely a good sign, because it could mean that, to be honest, even though in here the 20-day moving average hasn't really been respected by the price, because we've been trading around it, not really acted as support or resistance, but there's still a chance that we find some support here, also at the 218 line, 219, where we had resistance before. So also, if we take a look on the 1 hour chart, what we're doing here at the moment could be something like a small bull flag. I think we could be preparing here potentially for a move now to the upside. Thing is, you know, you've come in this way, you've made a major push, but it is a push to the upside, above that high, above that high, above that high, above all these lows, and now you're consolidating bullish about all these moving averages here on the hourly, and basically what you're doing is something like a bull flag here. Yeah, we have a channel here, we have a bull flag, and we're consolidating bullish because the price, the sellers, don't seem to be able at the moment to push the price away from that resistance level up here at around 225. So that's the descending resistance level of this triangle, this upper leg of the triangle, and we could break out from here. That could be the push that we need. Maybe Bitcoin needs to do something, or Ethereum, for Cardano to follow here now, but I think we're consolidating bullish at the moment. Now, not saying that will happen at the moment, but it's looking a bit like that because we are forming a bull flag, a bit different to what we did here, you know, a bit different to what we did here. So we are getting we are very, very close to that level here. So let's see, that could be a possibility. But if not, if we lose that level here at around, let me just see where that lower support is. Now, if we lose that level here again, the 220, it's pretty much 221, slightly below that, 225. If we lose that, I think we can get down again to this level here of 219. And, you know, if we lose that, you know, in the end, we can come down to the lower leg of the triangle again at around $2.10 before we then move up again. And at some point we'll break out again. I think it's more likely, far more likely, that we're going to break out to the upside. Maybe something like 75% to the upside, 25 to the downside. I think that is more realistic because at least as long as Bitcoin and Ethereum are playing their role and are on the upside, Cardano will follow. That's typically been like that, and we have just to expect that based on the history. Right, looking at the RSI, let me just take a look at the daily indicators. I don't think much will have changed since yesterday. We are still in the bearish range here on the RSI on the daily, have been there now for various weeks now actually. So we just need to get above 50. I think that could be a buy signal, and you can just see here on the chart how it's coiling up, how it's getting squeezed for weeks now, and that could be a big move when we unleash the Cardano dragon here. And so still waiting for positive indicators here. The MACD has been in the green for a while now, so but it's only one indicator. It only indicates. Just need to wait for the other ones to push, and you can see how far away we actually from the 200-day moving average. That really had difficulties to catch up because this is the yellow line here on the chart. So it's just that we moved so far away from this one. It just needs to catch up as well. But yeah, overall looking good for Cardano. I think I expect a move to the upside, as so many other cryptocurrencies have done that are in the same or very similar pattern, and just waiting for that dragon to run, isn't it? Or to fly. Okay, that was ADA USD. Then we take a quick look at ADA BTC. ADA BTC currently might be finding some support here at the moment. I showed you all these support, or this support line here. You know, we dropped below it here before, and we currently dropped below it again. That's ADA BTC if you're interested in trading ADA BTC, or if you want to take a look at, is Cardano outperforming Bitcoin? And you can always see pretty much, you could say half of the time maybe, Cardano is outperforming Bitcoin. Well, not half of the time, maybe a third of the time Cardano is outperforming Bitcoin, and when it's reached this peak, it takes a while to drop down again. Then Bitcoin is outperforming Cardano, and then it's going quickly to the upside as well. Cardano outperforming Bitcoin, then it's dropping down, and we're now at a level where we could, based on what we saw historically, where Cardano could really move to the upside again in a quick move, and then Bitcoin will start to outperform again. I did say it before, we are massively in oversold territory here on the RSI, on the daily, on the ADA BTC chart. So we could really see that move to the upside coming at some point. However, at the moment, the indicators not really showing us any, for example, the ADX, and both the MACD and the ADX are showing us short signals here. And yeah, I can't see turning around yet. So at least not based on the indicators. I mean, we've got some, I expected to turn around here at the support line, didn't get there. Now we've got another support here, basically from that previous high and that low, a horizontal where we're currently trying to find some support here. If we drop below that, we get down to that horizontal at 3149, 3150. Yeah, and yeah, if we lose that, we could fall quite a bit. Don't envision that at the moment. I think we'll find support here at this one. That could be something like a triple bottom, maybe, you know, if we find support there. And from there, we can then move to the upside. That could be the moment when Cardano could be breaking out. But I think, you know, because we're so far in oversold range, we have really rarely been that long in the oversold range. So you can see this was a quick one. That was a quick one back here as well. So I think it's time. It's time now. And I did tell you yesterday that ADA, compared to ETH, normally is 2 weeks behind, and ADA started to kick off 2 weeks before now. So we just it's really imminent. So also talk to you about that triangles rarely wait really until the apex. So it's imminent. And now ADA ETH, similar game here. You've got the trend line here, this ascending trend line, and we've been touching it various times. ADA has outperformed Ethereum various times, and then it dropped. ADA has outperformed Ethereum various times, and then it dropped. ADA has outperformed Ethereum various times, and then it dropped. So again, people who say they don't understand what Cardano is doing, I mean, again, it's just doing what it's historically always done. And all the haters out there, the Cardano haters, I mean, it's not our fault, you know, that you bought Cardano and that you didn't inform yourselves about it, because this is what it's doing, right? There are periods when Cardano is outperforming Ethereum. That's when everybody loves Cardano. And then there are these oftentimes longer periods where Ethereum is outperforming Cardano. And that is just what has happened historically, and also what is happening now. And however, we're coming again, like with Bitcoin, to this tipping point where we are hitting this ascending trend line. And we actually found support here on the ADA ETH chart, and we can take a look at that. You can see how we found support along lower wick, and we might be finding a turning point finally. Again, we came quite, or not quite far, but nearly into oversold territory here. So there is a potential for a little bit more drop if we have to. But overall as well, I think, you know, chart is looking similar to ADA BTC, and we're just waiting for that move to the upside now. It's just historically what has always happened, and why would it not happen again? It doesn't make sense. In my view, it will happen again, and I'm just waiting for that move to the upside. So as we speak, I think Bitcoin is moving up here again, you know, above 62K again. And on the ADA, we can just see a little bit of a price move as well, and hopefully maybe that is the final preparation here for the move to the upside. And yeah, it will be an interesting weekend. So let's see. We're still in this channel, and in my view, we are coiling here up for something, even though I would like the price to get a little bit closer to the higher leg, to the upper leg of that triangle, but could really be a bull flag here forming and then move to the upside from here. If not, we just have to be a little bit more patient and show more patience. But you know, it's just doing at the moment what it's supposed to be doing, but we're really coming now to this tipping point, to this moment where the breakout is going to happen. And in my view, to the upside. Now that's never guaranteed, but that's what I strongly believe. Let me know what you think. Are we going up as well very soon? Hope you liked the video. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe as well. And see you in the next video. Bye bye.